The draft selection shows are complete. The Fanatically Real Redraft Drafts happen in 4 days, and the APFL rosters have been cut to 20. All of this and more in 20 seconds. Hey, fellow fanatics, welcome to the Fanatically Real broadcast, sponsored by Nature Coast Tailgating and Apparel, the official apparel of the FSA. Quick show for you tonight as far as the FSA content goes for you all. And then we have a special guest that's going to be coming on here shortly. Let's see who is out there right now, if anybody is out there. We've got two visible people. Please say hi to us if you are out there. We mentioned at the top of the show, draft selection shows are complete. We did all of those on this past Sunday. That is for the redraft leagues. The show started broadcasting at 10 o'clock in the morning. I got up and started working at 6:30 in the morning. We got a show out every 2 hours. Sean Purcell out there with us as well. Sean, how are you? I guess you were able to get away from whoever the guests are. Maybe I should talk a little bit quieter. That way they don't hear me if you are watching this from your phone right now, but whoever your guests are, you were able to at least peel away from for a little bit. Draft selection shows were done on Sunday. Got up at 6:30 in the morning. First one was at 10 o'clock. We ran them every 2 hours, 10, noon, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think we finished at about 8:45 that night. I talked for about 15 straight hours. There was not enough water to lubricate these vocal cords, but we got them all done. All of the draft orders have been posted on MFL. The draft date and times have been updated on all of MFL. That was one of the things that we kind of neglected to get done prior to the draft selection shows, even though we had put it out on Discord, which I know is not the end-all be-all for everybody. I was able to go out on MFL and update all of those. I was having anxiety and unable to sleep the night after the draft selection shows were done. So I got up Monday morning at 2:30 in the morning and started working and got the drafts orders put out and the draft times and date for everybody on all of the redraft regions. So in case you still don't know, for the three of you that are out there watching right now, all of the redraft drafts will take place on Sunday, 20 August at 7 p.m. East Coast time. That is for all 6 regions at the same time. It is going to be crazy as hell on Sunday for me, but we're going to see what it's like for doing them all at the same time, and we'll see if we can go into 2024 doing the same thing. Damian Gratz on with us from Ohio. Damian, how are you? So 7 teams still have not logged in on MFL that are part of the redraft league. Y'all need to get logged in. I think it's all veterans, honestly. So all of our rookies are all logged in. I think they've been able to play around with MFL for a little bit. A couple of them have been asking, what is the app for MFL? So they are at least engaged. The 7 people that still haven't logged in, get your butts logged in. I don't want to see you get auto-drafted because I sure would hate to see an Andrew Luck type thing happen for you all. I know we're years away from that retirement. However, we know what that looked like the year that he retired, and I don't want to see something like that happen to anybody else, especially with us doing individual defensive players for the first time in a really long time, and only the second time in our history of 30 years of doing IDPs. So make sure you get logged in. Know that we are drafting on Sunday at 7 p.m. And if you can't make that, make sure you start putting your draft order in order. So when MFL decides to select your players for you, you are at least getting players that you are semi-interested in having on your roster. Logos. Started working on logos for some of you over the last couple of days that still need to have those done. I think we've got about 18 teams that still need to have those done as well. Midjourney went down yesterday, so I was unable to get a lot of work done. And then, of course, the Army pulled me away today, and I was unable to get to a lot of things today. But tomorrow, My butt will be sitting in this exact chair pretty much all day. In fact, I'll probably put the link out here for the test site on StreamYard. If anybody's really, really bored at work, or if today happened to be your last day at your job and you are not starting your next job until the 28th of August, and that seems very specific right now that I'm saying that, maybe you'll be able to join me tomorrow and we'll be able to BS online while I'm sitting here doing logos for people. So that's pretty much everything for the redraft side of the house. For the APFL side of the house, tonight was our second week of roster cuts. We were supposed to cut from 22 to 20. Last check just before we went live, we still have 9 teams that have not cut their rosters to 20. So here's what I'm going to do. After the show is over tonight, I'm going to do my damnedest to go out and find everywhere that I can make your life hell so you cannot set a lineup, add or drop players, trade players. If I have the ability to keep you from logging into the MFL site, I will until you reach out to me to say, hey, I need to go in and cut my roster people. Then I'll add you back to MFL. I've put it out for multiple weeks now. It's been in the rule set since March. I put it out on Discord, which is supposed to be the way that we communicate. This is a dynasty league that we are supposed to talk with each other all season on. And I hate to say it in this way, but I'm going to put it bluntly. I'm tired of holding hands. If you can't have your rosters cut by 20, by the time this show is ending, when I go out there and look at your roster, if you're still sitting at 22, 20 or more, at this point it should only be 21 or 22. I'm going to take your ability away from doing anything on MFL. Contact me if you need to after that, and then we can talk about getting your rosters cut down to 20. Next week, which is the 23rd of August on Wednesday, we will be cutting those rosters from 20 to 18. So if you still don't have them cut, you're going to have to cut 4 players off your roster right now. And I'm going to call them out because I've got no shame. I was able to get my rosters cut, even if it was at the last second. We still got the Rebels, the Cats, the Dogs, the Arrowheads, the Desperados, the Harpies, the Hogs, and the Raptors. Still need to cut their rosters down to 20. Oh, the one last one, the Bighorns. That takes us to 9. You 9 have to get your rosters cut. Hopefully you'll have them cut by the time I get offline here. If not, shame on you. I think somebody posted it in Discord earlier. Shame, shame, shame. I'll find a way to be able to make sure that you don't have access to anything until it's cut. I'm going to do a shameless plug, 2 shameless plugs. Discord, not Discord, TikTok. I can't even read my own crap. I know you all in the background laughing at me right now because I can see you. TikTok. We had another great week of TikTok videos. If you're not already, Eric out there with us. Hey, Kamish, how are you? I'm Kamish. You're Eric. How are you? I want you to be the Kamish. I want you to take over everything. I'm leaving. Have a good night. TikTok. If you're not already following us, go out and make sure that you're following us on TikTok. We put a lot of fun content out lately with a finish line purpose that I don't want to say too much about because I don't want to give too much away. Brandon, thank you for always listening to my rambling whenever I have ideas like this. You're an amazing human being, even if you are in New York and pasty. We need to get you into Georgia and get some sun on you, and you need to take a break away from your job because you work too daggone hard. So TikTok, if you're not already following us, just like on everything else on our social media, go out to iPlayFSA and make sure you're following us on TikTok. I think over at least the last time that I checked, the 5 big posts that we have now, and I threw up 10 fingers, but I should be like this, 5 fingers. The last 5 big posts that we've put out there, I think we're now at like 107,000 views on those 5 posts. So that's pretty awesome to me. That kind of gets me excited. APFL, last shameless plug. What is it? Let me go back. Not APFL because that rolls off the tongue because I'm so used to saying it. APBL, the Alliance Professional Baseball League, is coming in 2024. We are still looking for more teams to fill that. The good thing is we haven't even hit playoff time in this season, and we already have 11 teams signed up for next season. So if you are interested in playing baseball with us, make sure you reach out to us and say, hey, I am interested in playing. You are going to take over as a emulation team. So you get to pick any team you want in Major League Baseball level. And I say that loosely because 11 teams have already been spoken for. So as long as it's not a team that's already been spoken for, you can jump in on there, and then you will represent that team next year in 2024 as we play baseball in FSA for like the second or third time in our history. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to bring that to all of you. Now, that ends. I need a drink. I could have coat the vocal cords. So that ends all of the FSA stuff for the night. I don't normally do that on air, but I don't care tonight. That ends all the FSA stuff. We said we had a little something special for you tonight. And before I bring this individual on for you, I have something that will be eye-appeasing to you all because it was created by none other than Brandon Gums, who is like a literal genius, not in his own right, in everybody's right when it comes to this stuff. And we're going to bring on a guest with us tonight who is going to explain a nonprofit organization that he has started in the state of Texas that encompasses the world of sports. And we're not talking fantasy now. We're talking literal stick and ball sports and the playing of the game. But I'm going to let him talk more about it in about 19 seconds. Man, that worked out perfect. I've actually never done that behind the scenes before, or I've had the video ready to go and then have you pop right back up. I think your mic is muted, Wallace. See if it's there. You go. Now you're unmuted. So everybody, I want you to meet Wallace Jones. He is the man. Do I say owner, operator, both of Dragon Breath Sports?
I am definitely a founder, the president. Okay. The CEO, the coach, everything for Dragon's Breath. Yes.
All right. So tell all of the 6 people that are out there right now and the people who watch this later on YouTube and or when I put the link on Discord, what Dragon Breath Sports is.
So Dragon's Breath Sport Training is actually a nonprofit organization here in Texas, north of Houston. We train kids ages 4 through 18 sports, all various sports. We train everything that we possibly can to get these kids off the bench and on the field or on the court. We also help them get into college, meaning we get them seen by scouts, by recruiters, whoever needs to see them so they could be in a D1 college, D2, D3, whichever college they choose. We hopefully get them in there as best as possible. If we cannot get them in there, we at least get them a scholarship to go to college for tuition and fees, and they can walk on or however the case may be. I've been doing it for a while now, and I'm expanding. I'm hoping to get out of Texas in a couple of years and expand out in the United States. And right now we are in the process of building a gym out here in Texas to help individuals proceed their careers.
Currently, how many kids do you guys have under the umbrella, and what sports are you currently training?
Right now, I am currently training 35 athletes in different sports: soccer, football, baseball, tennis, softball, basketball, and volleyball.
If anyone is interested in seeing what you are doing, how can they reach out to you?
Y'all can actually look me up on Facebook, Dragon Breath Sports Training. You can even Google me, and if you punch that in with Texas, I should be the first one up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those links from you, and then I will put them on the community center channel on Discord. That way, if anybody's interested, they can go. Like I said, when we talked earlier today, I have people all over the country as well, usually close to military bases. You were military as well. How many?
Yes.
You know, what's something I didn't talk to you about earlier? What was your MOS and how many years did you serve?
I did 5.5 years because something happened in Afghanistan, but my MOS was 13 Delta, artillery specialist, computer specialist. Okay. I did 13 Bravo and 13. I'm sorry, not 13, 11 Bravo in Iraq and Afghanistan. So I did 2-year tours, and that was a lot of my life.
Yeah.
Just say that.
100% agree with you. I did 39 months deployments myself, 2 to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan. Again, I would never trade that for the world. And if for some reason somebody decided to tell me, hey, we know we already extended you 6 months, we're going to extend you another year on top of that, but we're going to send you to one of those 2 countries, I would go back in a heartbeat. Nobody else will understand that except for the group that's right here, right now. I think even Brandon would go back and do it again. Brandon, yes or no? No. Brandon's in the background shaking his head no. So Brandon would not go back in a heartbeat and do that. But many of us would go back and do that in a heartbeat. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links out for everybody to be able to reach out to you if they have anything. Like I said, unfortunately, for where you're at in Houston, because of where my connections are, usually around military bases and nothing really in Houston. But I do have friends that are over in the Fort Hood area. The good thing about the translation of being a leader or an NCO in the Army is how well that can transfer over to being a coach, especially if you have a love for sports, or if you didn't, or if you ever played sports in your life, how that can transfer over, right?
Yes.
I'm going to do everything I can on my side. I even told Brandon earlier today, you know, whenever I finally retire, which even though the guys in the league say that I'm never going to retire, when I finally do retire, there is nothing really holding me to this place. If there's ever an opportunity for me to come back to Texas, because I was there for nearly 4 years, never got to see the Houston area, I would love to come back and do something like that, because money is not an object for me right now. I can pretty much do anything that I want with life. So, man, I'm glad to get a chance to talk to you today. I think we were online for about 75 minutes with you and me, Brandon, and get you on here tonight as well. What are the qualifications for a kid to enter your program? And the reason I say this, Eric, give the background for yourself. If you don't mind me posting it online, I will. If not, I'll wait and then I'll give it to Wallace later. That way you guys can have a conversation with each other as well. So the cool thing is, in this league, it's something I didn't mention to you earlier. We have a lot of educational administrators in this league, actually. I've got 2 principals that are in this league, one in New York and the other one in Nebraska. And there might be an opportunity for us to make some kind of connection there. And you know what? And it didn't even come to me until Eric made that comment right now that that's even a possibility for you. There are some connections, especially if you want to get out of this, right? Yes. There are ways for you to be able to make connections somewhere else. It might only be a scratch of a surface, but like you said earlier, it's all about making connections. You never know who you're going to be able to spark an interest with unless you have that connection. So, man, I'll do everything in my power to make sure that we can see if there is some success there for you. You've already got 35 student athletes there. I think you said there's something earlier to me today that the majority of these kids are homeschooled, and then what you're also trying to do is make sure that they have the ability to make sure that their education doesn't falter while they're also focusing on this stuff. Talk about that for a second.
Okay, so I did a lot of research about NCAA and how it's harder for a homeschooler to actually get drafted to play sports versus a public school. It's like 0.001% that they might actually go out looking for these kids. There are qualifications that they have to do. And the only reason why they go to homeschool is because how public schools are ran or their own personal points. And a lot of the people that want to play, a lot of athletes that want to play sports, have to go back to public school to play these sports to get seen. So I figured out basically the grade line between those two eras. And the biggest thing, one of them is they have to be part of a gymnasium or a gym. So they have to be able to work out. They have to be able to do certain things that only public schools can give the athletes, so say. And that's one reason why we're building this gym, is to give them that home ground to where they can go to study if they need to study, work out when they need to work out, and even practice inside of a building. Because Texas, it's hot. It's 115. Actually, let me look. It's 100 degrees outside right now. So it's already getting dark.
That's gross.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel weird. Let me see if I can make this happen. I feel like as I'm looking at you, I'm not really looking at you. So I'm going to go this way and see if I can look at you as I'm doing this. So, Eric, I appreciate the questions and stuff like that, man. Much appreciated. I'm hoping that as the GMs in the league, and like I told you earlier, we have 104 teams this year, get to watch this, not now, but later, because everybody watches this at some time, at some point, whether it's on YouTube or from the link that I post over on Discord, even if it's tomorrow morning while they're sitting on the Thomas, whatever that thing is called. Somebody will watch this. So what I'm hoping for is that I will get questions tomorrow that I will be able to present to you. Man, keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I know that there are great things coming. I know that there is going to be merch. You and Brandon, you know what?
Yes.
He's not even looking right now, but watch this. Hi, Brandon. Bye, Brandon. I know that you guys are working on things together, and the stuff that is sold merch-wise through Brandon and what he's got going for you is going to go back into the organization and part of all of the nonprofit and stuff like that. We'll see if we can't make a connection somewhere, there as well. I really believe in what you're doing. I told the story earlier that when I happened to be stationed in Hawaii, one of my soldiers happens to have two cousins who plays in the NFL. One was on Miami, one was on Baltimore. Actually, I take that back. He got traded at that point. So one was on Baltimore, one was on Pittsburgh. They had opened a gym during Pro Bowl weekend a bunch of years ago. I'd have to even go back and look. It was 2016, 2017. And I got to see the kids that impacted in the state of Hawaii, because a lot of them never get to leave the island because they don't have the proper training to be able to be competitive against other schools.
Yes.
Now we know Hawaii is Division I, but we also know that it's on the backside of the Power Fives, right? So without something like that, they're never going to be competitive. And when you really look at how many players from the University of Hawaii or any of the surrounding schools that are there get drafted, it's far and few between. Or for them to be able to leave the state of Hawaii and go play at a Division I school, few and far between. So what the two cousins were trying to do was to give them the opportunity to be able to better the skills, and they opened up this gym. And I just happened to be there on Hall of Fame game, Pro Bowl weekend, and was able to see that this gym get open. And you can see the impact in these kids, how excited they were that, hey, maybe we might actually have a chance. And to be able to do that in the great state of Texas, when you already know how big sports are there. It's like a religion on Friday night in the state of Texas to watch and go play football. So that's awesome that you've got that going on. So I can't wait to see where that goes. And I hope that I can have a little bit of help with you, even if it's the smallest little bit of help. That's it. I'm going to go back to FSA stuff for just a second. I'm going to bring Brandon's awesome New York butt back in here too, because he was in the background that whole time. I figured if he can endure all of that for 24 minutes, then he should be able to show his face on camera as well. Brandon, any shameless plugs that you would like to put out since I've got you on screen right now?
No, just the video that I put, the little slideshow for the
Okay, so tell everybody about the slideshow, both of you, and then I will show the slideshow real quick, and then we will end the show after that. So talk to me about the slideshow.
All right. Well, these are just a few of the images that I created for the merchandise that we're trying to put together for Wallace and his organization. One of the things that I do as a business is UV printing, which is basically just a nice way of saying I have an enormous printer that can print on tile, metal, wood, whatever. And it takes artwork and photos and prints them out in nice, vibrant, full color spectrum. And these images here,
I will show them.
yes,
I'm pretty sure we can talk over this one because there's no actual audio to this.
These right now are being offered on tile. They're offered in 4 1/4, 6-inch, 8-inch, or 10 by 14s, and everything except for the 10 by 14s come with either anti-slip or foam no slip backing for use as coasters, or I can give you some display stands. You can stick them on a shelf or whatever. But if you go onto the Etsy shop, it's 35% of the proceeds go over to Wallace. If you get a hold of me direct, those fees aren't being taken off by Etsy platform, so more goes over there to the tune of 50% of the sale proceeds go over to Wallace. I hate that a lot of major corporations run these ads and a percentage, whatever that means, whatever a percentage is, to the tune of less than 5% of the sale goes to something. These guys here are getting quite a bit more, at least half the sale value, to fund their program. So, if you want to get something on your shelf and help the program, we'd all appreciate it. If you just want to donate directly to Wallace, I'm sure Wallace can attest to how to do that. You can just donate directly to him if you don't really care about the merch. So, but one way or the other, we're trying to help him get funded, and this is kind of my way, plus potentially other things in the future as we work things out that'll get him where he needs to be, especially for building that gym, because the gyms are not cheap to build.
Definitely not, especially with the price that you quoted us earlier when we were talking. Definitely not going to be cheap. So what I will say is, whatever you guys want me to present to the league, I mean, you've got 104 fresh faces that don't know anything about either one of you right now, right? Send me as much information as you want on Facebook Messenger. I will put the link up on our broadcast channel, and then I will put all of the information underneath it that you guys would like me to do.
This also goes for the teams on fantasy sports. So if you want your logo on a coaster or something, on a tile piece or a wood piece or a metal piece, I can make that happen too. So it's almost kind of like Squad Locker, but it's not through Squad Locker. Obviously, it's through me.
So actually, I was going to say that I was going to do a shameless plug at the end of it all as well. So especially for the guys in the APFL, we did all of the work on the AI side to be able to get those, what I think is awesome logos. So much so that I built a poster of it that cost me $38 to post on my wall over there in the corner with all of those logos that I did. If you would like to see those on anything else, because you have bought completely into the APFL, let me know, let Brandon know. We'll put it on something for you. And then you'll be able to show that off to anybody. So that's the shameless plug on my side. That's it. I got the draft shirt on to remind everybody that don't forget the redraft drafts are happening this Sunday, 20 August at 7 p.m. East Coast time. Make sure you were there. The 7 of you that still are not logged in, make sure you get logged in. If you're not going to be able to make the draft, and I know of at least 2 of you that are not going to be able to make the draft, get your preset draft list so you at least get somebody you want. You already know what the draft order is. It's been set on MFL. I don't know what else to do for you. For the APFL guys, make sure you get your rosters cut down to 20. As soon as we get done with the show, the last update that I got from Toby at 8:43, which was 16 minutes ago, we still have 9 teams that did not get their cuts. I'm going to find a way to get my cut, so I'm going to cut you off one way or another. So make sure you go out there and do your downgrades to 20 roster spots. If you're interested in playing baseball with us next year, reach out to us. And then next Wednesday, we will be back on August 23rd, which should be for the last round of cuts for the APFL, which is going to be from 20 to 18. And then it also might be the last show that I get a chance to do for a while. So for those of you who don't remember, since somebody asked me earlier today, I am going under the knife on 25 August over in Charleston, South Carolina. Depending on how the surgery turns out, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do of anything, which is why we're doing the drafts on Sunday. We're going to do one more show on Wednesday, and then through the channels and through the people on Discord, we'll let you know how I'm doing and when we will be back on the net for you all to see this crazy show that we call the Fanatically Real broadcast on Wednesday nights. Thank you to both. What you got there, Brandon? What is that? Oh, is that your business card?
Yep.
That is fancy.
That's on aluminum. That's another thing I do. I make my own business cards. So,
Those are business cards on aluminum. I mean, come on. Where you been hiding that at?
I've been making these for about a year now. Well, I don't know. I think my camera's reversed. So if you can read backwards, I'm sure.
No, so I will say StreamYard does a very good job of reversing it for you. So I see Brandon Gums on there perfectly clear for you. So you're okay.
Okay. The other side.
And it's got a backside?
Well, so that's the red one. The red one's my 3D printer.
Okay.
The white one is my 2D printer. They look the same, but they're actually two different machines. That's about $100,000 in equipment sitting in my workshop right now that can do this stuff. So.
God. So we need to help Brandon pay for his $100,000 equipment. So
yes, please. I need,
especially for the APFL guys, if you would like to have anything done on there. So we have 28 new people this year. Well, I won't say 28 new people. We have 28 rookies this year. I guess it is 28 new people because anybody who had played with us in years past that decided to come back this year isn't considered a rookie. So we had 28 new teams this year that have no idea the craziness that we get involved in to be able to do the things that we do with you, with Nature Coast tailgating and Squad Locker. And I know that's kind of like the afterthought right now because it seems to be the only thing that we can't do with everybody else is the great hats that I love being done on Squad Locker. So I'm not sure this is the commission we deserve. I'm not sure what's going on over in Discord. People were texting me at the same time of the show. I wish they were watching instead. Yeah, make sure we can help pay off the $100,000 dollars worth of brand and stuff out there. We will be back next Wednesday on the 23rd of August at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time at our regularly scheduled time. I want to thank both of you for coming on tonight. Thank you. You made tonight, even though it was supposed to be a short show, less awkward. Now I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go walk with the wife or some stuff like that. But whatever. Wallace, thank you. Brandon, thank you. Don't forget, we also want to thank Mondo and the boys from the Recast, the official music of the FSA. Wallace, the beard, the hair tells me that you're a metalhead. Do you like hard, heavy metal music? Oh, man, you're disappointing me right now.
I like all music.
Okay, that's good. You're not disappointing me.
There's no, straight shot. I like all music.
After we get off here, go look up the Recast and also get with Brandon because Brandon's done a lot of work for Mondo and those guys, the Recast. The rebranding. Have you seen the new logo? It looks nice. They got a new member in the band. They are like balls to the wall, ready to go right now, and it's awesome. So get a chance to go out and look at the Recast. They're the official music. They were part of the song that was part of the intro that you saw with the castle coming up and stuff like that. And then Brandon Valenka wearing his hat tonight from Nature Coast Tailgating and Apparel, the official apparel of the FSA. Make sure anybody who's out there still watching right now, you go out and take a peek at them as well. And then thank you for watching the show. I will say this, with the 28 new people that we have in the league, the number of subscribers that we had on YouTube reduced and then increased, which I'm very, very excited about. So we're way above the number of people that we had in, what year is this now? Is this 2023 23. So yeah, more than we had in 2022. So that makes me happy. So if you're out there right now and you haven't already subscribed to us, make sure you subscribe to us, like, and then go out to our TikTok. Make sure you're watching our TikTok now. I think the last post that we put out there has like, I don't know, like 29,000 views or something like that. No big deal. But if you get a chance to go out and look at that, and then we will see you back here next week. And if either one of you want to come back on next week for any shameless plugs, let me know and I will have you back on here. All right.
I have to state, because it kind of made you kind of made me sound like I was the one that redesigned the recast logo. I did not. That was not me.
Yeah, I
if anybody's listening, I did not read it. I mean, I can if you want me to, but I did not.
I just wanted you. I didn't know if you had seen it yet or not. That was
yes,
my question.
It's very nice. I like it.
It's very nice. Yeah,
no,
I like it too.
was not the one that did that.
Okay. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Brandon Wallace, stick around if you can for me for a second. I'll end the broadcast. I don't know what that does. I don't know if I have to bring you guys back in. I haven't done this in a while. So I'll bring you guys back in for a couple of minutes, and then I got to go to bed because I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go for a walk. All right, y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.